So I usually don't talk about Qingque on this channel, and it's not for any particular reason, or maybe it's just the seal bias coming out. But I usually use this character whenever I find myself in situations where she shines more than Seal, and that's because she offers AoE damage, while also being a character that, in theory, has higher damage output. That's because she has a lot of multiplayers baked into her kit, and she is a feast or famine type of character. So if RNG is on your side and you're having a good day, you're going to deal so much more damage with this character than your max invested into Seal. But we're going to go over Qingque today, and we're going to talk about the 4-star Mono Quantum team comp, and I will be showing you my build on this character, of course, as well. Yo, what up? Toshi here. So maybe that was a long-winded intro, and I probably will trim it down a little bit, but this is my Qingque's build currently. So right now she's level 70. I have not gotten her to level 80 because I never needed to. She just does that much damage. I have almost 2900 attack. I am using the 5-star Himiko light cone, but if you don't have this light cone in your account, you can obviously use other light cones, but this is really good on the character. She gets so much attack, and you get more damage whenever the enemy's weakness broken. Now, one important thing to take into consideration is that Qingque does a lot of damage in AoE against enemies that are weak to Quantum. So whenever you're using her with this light cone, she will break the weakness of the enemies, and then the upcoming damage she provides is going to take advantage of that increase 30% to her damage. It is insane. This light cone is pretty good on the character. There is other light cones you can use, like the Seriousness of Breakfast, that still is really solid in the character, but 5-star light cones always give more raw stats, so it's just better for characters in general. But the 5-star Jing light cone is just going to be best installed on the character because it literally buffs every single part of her kit. She has a full up attack too, so it just buffs that as well. And right now I do have 57 crit rate, and I have 178 crit damage. I am using Fu Xuan with her, so that's why I have lower crit rate. But obviously, if you're not using Fu, then you definitely want to have more crit rate than this. So for the purposes of having her in the 4-star Mono Quantum team, I'm going to throw her in a crit rate chest whenever we do use Qingque alongside Lynx. So these are her stats without having the crit damage chest, and honestly, I probably should use this over the crit damage, even though I am using her alongside Fu Xuan. So having this amount of crit rate is really good because she'll crit most of her hits, and in conjunction with Fu Xuan, you're just going to have over 90% crit rate, which means you'll crit most of the times, unless you're Seal. If you're Seal and you have 90% crit rate, you're still going to miss all of your crits on the ultimate. Now, the reason why Silverwolf is one of Qingque's best allies is because Qingque is a character that is not dependent on her ultimate, so you don't need a character like Ting, but Silverwolf applies that defense shred to the boss enemy, which Qingque is a character that does adjacent hitting damage, but most of her damage goes to that single enemy, and therefore she takes advantage of the debuffs that Silverwolf places into the enemy, and again, just like Seal, she is a Quantum character. But I'm using Qingque on Inner Susato, and that's because this is only set I really have on the character. I do not have the Rudelon Arena, which is going to provide more damage to this character, because most of her damage does come from her enhanced basic attack, which counts as basic attack damage. So depending on the item level of your Qingque, Bronya is a very solid choice. And if you do have some of those light code options, like her best install 5-star, and you have Idol 1, she becomes an even better character to use alongside Qingque, even though sometimes these characters kind of have anti-synergy because of the Qingque, skill point consumption. That's Qingque just, you're having a bad day with the character. But when we do receive Sparkle, she's obviously going to be a way better character to pair alongside Qingque. I just happen to use Bronya right now because she provides the most damage output in this team. In this team here, we have Lynx instead of Fu Xuan. Now, Lynx is a very solid character. My Lynx is only level 50, but I'm going to show you that the level for Lynx doesn't even matter because she has so much healing output. And in a team like this, you're just trying to kill an enemy as fast as you can. So you need to prioritize damage over everything else. So this is my current Lynx build, and as you can see, just like I have my Hua build, the only thing that matters on any type of healer character is literally having just stats. All you need on these characters is stats. I have 144 speed. The more speed you can get on this character, the better, because she generates skill points, and she helps with making sure that all of the allies are not CC'd and full HP or close to full HP. If you have more, of course, more levels, if yours like level 80, and you have better traces than mine, you're obviously going to heal way more. But I'm telling you that you don't need as much investment into this character as you might think. And I am using the 5-star Bailu light cone, but to be honest, you are better off just using post-op conversation because that gives more energy regeneration, which means more healing overall, and you just give more outgoing healing with the outgoing healing bonus that the light cone provides. And as you can see here, I don't even have a full 4 set of the Quantum set, which this is a character that does not do as much damage as Fu Xuan does, but you can still put her with a little bit DPS if you are feeling a little adventurous because her basic attacks do scale based on her max HP, but having the broken keel is very important. You at least want this character to have resistance, and making sure that she has enough resistance to cleanse the allies and provide healing will be very nice. And then you get that 10% bonus crit damage, which is very nice on the character. And then the cool thing about Lynx is that she has very good Eidolons. Eidolon 1 is really good. Eidolon 2 is also pretty good. Eidolon 4 is also nice. You give attack to the ally, so this is very good for Qingque if she ends up being CC'd, or you just want to give that character more attack, because she's a character that if you are playing her on a good day, of course, you won't need to use that many skill points, so having a skill point be used by Lynx to get more attack is very nice. And then E6 is also really, really good. This is going to be even better whenever what's her name comes out. So we take Fu Xuan out of the equation, you can see that Lynx is a very solid replacement. And if we take Bronya out of the equation as well, you can put in Pela, which Pela is going to provide a lot of defense shred, which is going to help with Qingque's overall damage. And Pela does help with getting that ultimate as soon as possible if you have her paired with the Silver Wolf Light Cone. So overall, this will be a nice 4-star team to use for Qingque. And once Sparkle does come out, you'll have an even better character to use alongside Qingque. But I want to talk about Xueyi or XY in today's video, because she'll be a very solid sub DPS to have in this team comp. So you actually don't even need to have any other Harmony character. Having Xueyi means you'll have a character that does not soak up as many skill points as other damage dealers like Seal, for instance, and will work in conjunction with Qingque much better. And she provides overall damage with all the debuffs that several places onto that enemy, because just like Qingque, she's a character that does have main damage hitting that one target, but then adjacent damage hitting the enemies surrounding that main target. Considering you have 3 4-star characters and you have Silver Wolf, who is the 5-star that has had her first rerun, you have a very solid free-to-play friendly team that all use the same relic sets, and you don't have to over-invest into some characters like Lynx, because she still gets the job done with low to mid investment. So when it comes to XY, I think for Light Cone choice, I definitely want to use the Most Welcome You, because she's a character that's going to be using the Light Cone to the fullest, and there isn't any other attack buffer in the team. So therefore, in the 4-star Mono Quantum team, you're not going to have a Harmony character buffing her attack as of right now. And that's if you plan to use her with Qingque for the most damage output. Because remember, she is still technically a sub DPS, just like Blade is for Jinglu. But there is Light Cones like a Secret Vow, which is going to scale really well into the Mono Quantum team, because you have Silver Wolf applying defense shred to the enemy, you have the Quantum set, you're able to ignore the enemy's defenses, so having Quantum damage increase for the character is going to allow her to do much more damage. And if you are using her with Lynx, there's going to be times where if you have a low investment Lynx like mine, you're going to have this character lower HP than the boss, so you'll get that extra little bit of damage from a Secret Vow. But that's only if you're playing with a low investment Lynx, or if you plan to use her with Fu Xuan sometimes. I say sometimes because if you don't have Fu Xuan's 5-star Light Cone, you may have your characters be a little less HP at times, but that's very rare. So I'm not here to say that Qingque is going to be the best character for the Mono Quantum team, and I'm definitely not here to say that Sparkle or Hanabi is going to be the best character to save for when it comes to this team, because obviously there is many ways to play the Mono Quantum team. There's so many different variations. You can slot in Harmony characters in place of different Harmony characters based on the enemy is weak to, and you have 4-star characters that can combine in order to provide more damage output against the enemy. And then you can place your seal with your 4-star Qingque, depending on the Eidolon level of this character, because some of the Eidolons this character has allows her to save even more in skill points. And that's when you unlock Eidolon 6 for the character, which allows her to recover a skill point after using an enhanced basic attack. But having a playstyle like this means you probably should use speed boots on the character if you plan to use her alongside seal. And that's because you increase your speed whenever you use an enhanced basic attack with one of her traces. And you recover a skill point after using your skill once. So all of these little bit of skill points you get for the character adds up. So speed boots in conjunction with the speed increase she has from using her hand basic attack, and maybe you have Ron May in the party, you're going to have a lot more speed on the character, which means you're able to use one of the best planar sets in the game, which increase your attack and gives you more damage based on your amount of speed. So for Qingque, just like Seal, this might be really good for the character. So there you have it. What I really do like about Mono Quantum, as said before, is that there's so many different variations to the team. You don't have to use Seal and all these other 5-star characters in the team. You don't have to use Hanabi. Hanabi just provides the most damage output for your hyper carry, like Qingque and Seal. But you can utilize 4-star characters like XY alongside Seal, or you can use Qingque and XY together. And you can use Harmony characters in slot of whatever the enemy is weak to. So it's not even like you need to have 4 Quantum characters in the team. I just like using that team because I'm very lazy and I don't like swapping around characters and builds too often. But I only do it because of videos. I swear if I was not making videos, my team every single Memory Chaos cycle would literally be Seal, Silver Wolf, Bronya for now, Sparkle, Hanabi whenever Sparkle Hanabi comes out, and then the last character would be Fu Xuan. And I would never change that team ever. But that's just me personally. Thank you for watching and have a nice rest of your day. Peace.